Hello guys, and welcome back to Car Obsession, and welcome to another Throwback review, the series where I review cars from yesteryear, like this. This is the Citroen Mehari, a kind of compact SUV, I suppose, that is based on the, well, that was based on the Citroen 2CV. So let's jump in and have a quick spin. Right, so this is bound to be an adventure. Now, I haven't got this car for long, about 10 or 20 minutes. So this will be a quick blast. Well, I say blast, and I say quick, it won't really be either, but it will be an adventure. Now, I do apologise if the camera angle is a bit iffy. This windscreen is quite vertical, and it's very difficult to mount a GoPro to. But Citroen didn't really have that in mind, did they, when they made the car? I don't think they were sat in their meeting rooms discussing whether or not you can mount a GoPro to it, because obviously this was in the 60s. Right, let's start her up. There we go. She has come to life. Right, so the pedal layout is quite interesting. The clutch is to the left of the steering wheel, and the brake and the accelerator are to the right. As you may be able to see, for a taller person like myself, I'm 6'2". Yeah, the seating position isn't the most practical, but hey, who cares? Right, so I've got a 4-speed manual gearbox, so I need to pull it out. That should be first gear. Got a handbrake down here, push the button, pull it, and then down like so, and we should be, yeah, oh, good to go. So it is quite noisy, so I do hope you can still hear me. But I'm going to go for second. That should be second, and it is marvellous.
For those of you wondering why it's called the Mehari, it's named after a type of fast-running dromedary camel which can be used for racing or for transport. It started life as a front-wheel drive car, however, a four-wheel drive version was made between 1980 and 1983. The four-wheel drive version was made in small numbers with around 1,300 examples made, and at the time it was one of few 4x4s that featured four-wheel independent suspension. The model you see here is from 1985 though, so it's front-wheel drive.
So as the modern cars roar past me, let me tell you a bit more about this car. So, made between 1968 and 1988, a total of almost 145,000 cars were made, and it has the same engine as the Citroen 2CV. It is a 602cc flat twin petrol engine. On the brakes, into second, that should be second. Oh. Yeah, this is certainly an adventure, right. So yes, not a very large engine, but this car only weighs around 550 kilograms, give or take, which is about the same as a Citroen 7. So this car is far from heavy. The bodywork is made from ABS plastic, and yes, it certainly feels light.
This car may be made from ABS plastic, but all versions sold to Argentina were actually made out of fiberglass.
Oh, bit of lean. Oh, I wasn't quite expecting that. Right, on the brakes. Now this car doesn't actually belong to Citroen. It belongs to a lovely chap by the name of Paul, who has brought it up for Citroen. So I do need to be careful with it. This is a very cherished car. Now, as you would predict, this car, as you would predict, this car isn't particularly fast. So the top speed, from what I've read online, is a whopping 62 miles per hour. And don't ask me how long it will take to come, because I can tell you now it'll be quite some time. So as you can see, this car is left-hand drive. I may be mistaken, but I don't believe this car was sold in the UK.
This particular car is finished in a colour called Vert to Vesti. All of the colours offered for the Mehari were integrated into the ABS plastic material in production, although sunlight has been known to fade the colours, so an unrestored model that's seen a lot of daylight is likely to be faded.
Time for a bit of uphill action. Come on Citroen, you can do it. You can do it, I believe in you. You've got this. Yes! Who needs a BMW M2? Now I do apologise for the lack of outside GoPro angles because, well, it's very difficult to mount a GoPro to this car. There we go, it's first gear. Right, picking up quite a bit of speed down here, well, relatively. Brakes don't have a great deal of stopping power to them. So to drive, the car, once you get used to the gearbox, because it is a very quirky gearbox, once you get used to it, this car isn't too difficult to drive. The steering has got a bit of play in it, but it's nothing major. And there's also a fair amount of body roll to deal with. In the bends, whoa! I wasn't even going that fast. But this car, it's got character. It's quirky. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't rush out to buy one, but it's got a certain charm about it. Into fourth. Got quite a few cars behind me now.
The Mehari name was brought back to life in 2016 when Citroen took the covers off the Mehari, a car that harked back to its ancestor but with modern looks and, as the name would suggest, electric power. It has a range of 124 miles and a top speed of 68 miles per hour. Like its predecessor, it's not sold in the UK.
In second, yes, we're getting used to this gearbox now. Which is a pity because it's now time to go back. So this was a very quick drive. So this was more like a throwback review express, so to speak. Just a quick, short video about the Citroen Mehari. But one last note, when you do get used to that gearbox, it is actually quite easy to operate, and I actually quite like it. It kind of feels easier, once you get used to it, of course. Oh, don't think I could ever quite get used to that body roll. Doing about, what, 30 kilometers, so not that fast. So, a bit of a random video, but I hope you have enjoyed it. If so, please do give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.